the cloaks look like?
Like this like they're like this deep red with this black kind of trim around them. And they're just sitting together, hoods up at the bar, having a drink.
Wait, sorry. I was doing something. What's happening? There's some cloaked individuals.
At the bar, yeah, they're just chilling.
Yep.
All right. Oh wait, I've passed out at the religious quarter. So
Oh, I thought you stayed at the tavern.
no, you don't remember? I went to.
yeah.
I was offered free room and board.
Oh, true. Okay, that's fine.
Was I as well?
Well, I mean, whenever you're in the city, you live there.
Oh yeah, true. But I want to chill at the tavern because that's where I get drunk.
Yeah, I mean, you could have also stayed in the tavern. That's why I
mean,
you were doing, honestly.
Just so the story flows well, I'll say that I woke up and then went, knowing that I know what tavern they're at. I go there, so I show up.
All right, that works.
Sweet. I'm gonna sit down next to them and ask for some coffee.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit next to them too, but not say anything.
All right, so you two, Valindra and Zohar, just kind of post up at the bar next to the guys in the cloaks. What's everybody else up to? It's about
time is it?
it's about 8 o'clock in the morning.
Would I already be back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, your little excursion probably only took about half an hour.
Okay, cool.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
All right. Well, first thing Salvatore's gonna do is drink. So
Is
Fucking
drink.
morning drinking. Jesus.
Fucking hell.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning, man.
it's always a good time for a drink. That's what Brock says. Not really, but I say that too.
Oh,
That's what I
this
say.
is
I lied.
I
Brock
guess-
didn't say that.
I guess I'll go sit next to Valindra. And
I want to have a friendly drink with my cloaking
I
friends.
look-
I
I look straight at Aeolus, and if you order one mug of Sora, I am bashing this one.
I want to sit next to the guys who are drinking and ask for my
Alright.
drink.
So the three of you are all sitting there now.
So when
I
get
sit
my
next
drink,
to
I'm gonna say this as soon as I get my drink. So you guys like to drink, right? You know how else likes to drink a lot? Brock. Have you heard of our god Brock?
His god.
The one that's next to you, by the way, so the way it's set up, they're sitting on the far end. So like there is at the end of like the bar with bar stools kind of set up, there is
Uh-huh.
a smaller man on the leftmost bar stool. There's no bar stools to the left of him. And then on his right, in the immediate next seat, there is the other man with the cloak who is noticeably larger than him. Not like towering over him, but like his shoulders are like much larger. His actual height, he's larger. Like he's just bigger than the other guy.
I'm sitting in the other corner of the room, just kind of like observing there, casually eating a.
Yeah.
Alright.
I leave like spots for like Zohar and fucking.
So now I realize how
and then
awkward
I
this
sit
is.
on the other two.
Now I realize how
when-
awkward this is because
when
Yeah.
Salvatore plugs Brock, the bigger man who you would be sitting next to because he's on the right. The bigger man he doesn't look at you. He just kind of turns his head a little in your direction. He goes, "Shove off."
righto, I shove off.
I'm gonna look at Salvatore and be like, let's have a drink.
I already am.
Oh.
I already.
I want to look around for the one person who gave me the note yesterday. The one,
that was
the waitress.
Oh yeah, the waitress that was there last night.
She's probably not there.
She is actually behind the counter, yawning a little bit. She was a tabaxi, if you remember. She's
Oh, I
just
do.
standing behind the bar, like yawning and pouring some coffee.
Oh,
But
wait,
she's there.
I just want to go over and be like, hey, great job last night. Thanks. Who gave you this?
So the way the bar is set up, by the way, like the two gentlemen are on the far left, and like the actual counter where you order is on the far right of the bar. So you walk up to her and you're just like, "Who gave you this?" And she looks at you and she's like, "Oh, it was that gentleman down at the end of the bar."
Wait, gave her what? Gave him what? Sorry.
The note. He got a note last night.
Oh, he
The
got a note
bartender
last night.
handed
Okay.
him a note last night.
Okay, I wouldn't know about it, would I?
Okay, thank you.
Not really. He wouldn't have shared the details. I mean, you would have seen him get a note. But, but yeah, she says it quiet enough that he doesn't look like he like responds to her saying that, but she does say like, "It was that guy."
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm just
Yeah,
like
so-
quietly
The guy who told me to shove off.
on the bar.
The guy next to the guy who told you to shut up.
I guess I'll go say hello.
And as I'm walking past, oh, hello, good morning, Casmir. Would you like a drink?
Hey, Salvatore. No thanks. Hey.
Okay, have one anyway. Here you go. I give him my drink. And I pull out my other bottle of wine from my bag.
I'll take it with me. Why not?
He hands you like a small like airplane bottle.
Oh, perfect. I'll go over and say hello.
All right. So you walk up, and how do you like address him? You just walk up and just behind him and say hello. Or...
I'm gonna go up and so they're on like the end, right? So there's not a
They're on
seat.
the very end.
Okay.
No, yeah, very end.
Just go sit next to the big guy. Just take a seat.
That is where Salvatore is sitting at the moment.
Oh, I thought he got up.
Oh, if he got up, that's fine.
I scooted like one extra. I scooted one seat.
Oh yeah, when the guy told you, when the guy told you to shove off, you scooted.
I scooted, but I'm in the same seat, so there's no seat next to him.
Oh, okay.
I'll grab a seat from the other side of Salvatore and put it between them and sit down.
Zohar or Aeolus is sitting there.
I'll find a fucking chair.
Wait, why don't we have like a visual representation? Like fucking pull up a new thing.
This is more
I'm just gonna
fun.
go. I'm just gonna
This
go
is more fun.
stand in the spot. Fuck it.
Because this is more fun, honestly.
I wouldn't put in that much effort to find a chair.
All right. So you're just gonna stand next to the smaller guy or the bigger
Stand there, the bigger one. Just stand there, lean against the counter.
He turns and actually roll. Yeah, because it's been a little while. Roll let's see here. Roll just like wisdom.
God damn it.
Again, roll 20. Whoops.
No.
Listen, I'll roll 20. Kill me. All right. I'm getting on. You said it was a what?
7.
It's a hot 7.
All right, that's actually still fine. Standing next to him, like being that close to the guy, he doesn't react to you being there, but you recognize the smell that's coming off of him. It's a very unique smell that you've only smelled on one other person in your life. Because of how weirdly unique it is. It's like animal musk, but like not exactly. Like it kind of smells like just like regular human body odor mixed with animal musk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only other person you've ever smelled that on was Martin before.
Oh, okay.
He still doesn't react to you standing there though.
Can I use my divine sense?
Absolutely. And divine sense tells you celestial fiend or aberration, right?
Celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet, not behind
Or
total
undead.
cover.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me see here really quickly. This guy. This guy's quickly. This guy's making me.
Quickly.
I'm googling stuff. No, you don't get anything on your divine sense.
I'll Hey, thanks for the note. When did you guys get here?
The big gentleman just says, "I just got here last night, but Elias has been here for a couple days now." Good to see you, kid.
Yeah, good to see you guys too.
And he takes his hood off, and under his hood, he just looks like a regular kind of big bulky dude. Like you can tell that he has done a lot of like physical training just on his face. Like even his face is muscled. He has this like short brown kind of tousled hair. So he just throws the cloak hood off, so his armor is still kind of obscured. But now that his head isn't kind of stretching the cloak conforms to his armor a bit, and you can see he's definitely wearing metal armor under there. The other gentleman takes off his hood then, and let's see here. Let me pull this up. Yeah, the other gentleman takes off his hood. The smaller man. He has this kind of like his hair. His hair is like this short, kind of clean cut. He has like graying on the sides, and then it's black on top. He has this like handlebar mustache and an eye patch over his right eye. And yeah, he takes off his hood then, and he's like, "I know this isn't where we said we were going to meet, but figured you'd be here, so."
Yeah, it seems like your guys' kind of place.
Oh, and they're making a special breakfast dish for Marn. He brought in a kill this morning. But yeah, and then the waitress comes out, and she has a big old like shit. What are those called? The silver like tray toppers that go over huge trays.
Okay.
Platter with a lid, I guess.
Yeah, a platter with a lid. I mean, there's a name for those lids. That's why it's killing me. But she brings out one of those and lifts up the like lid, and she's just like, "Here you go, sir. Your meal on the house for bringing us a new specimen." And it is the head of some kind of dinosaur creature. Can't really tell what kind of dinosaur because it's been like skinned and it looks like deep fried. But it has like an apple in its mouth, like luau pig style, and it has like a garnish of like plant leaves around it in a circle.
Oh my god, you killed that?
Yeah, I mean, it almost killed me, so I might
Nice.
as well eat it. So
I just imagine Eloy's character making the Megusta face and going, "Nice."
oh god.
Oh god, Eloy and Leor. I mean.
I like it. But yeah, so the larger man who said his name was Marn just immediately picks up a knife and fork and starts cutting like meat off the head and just starts digging in.
I just kind of like I'm like Mars, and I kind of like shake like an empty lung. And I'm like, God.
She the bartender.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, the bartender like makes eye contact with you and just kind of nods and then goes into the back.
Do I hear this? Do I hear it? Do I hear? Do I
Him
hear?
saying coffee.
Do you
Yeah.
hear?
Yes. All right, make mine Irish, please.
You hear her small voice from the back just go, "Got it." The smaller man then stands up while the bigger man is just tearing into the dinosaur head. And he walks over to you, Casmir, and he's like, "Listen, I have some things in the works for you. I just don't worry about it. Marn is here on a separate thing. He's not involved in it at all." And Marn throws up like a thumbs up as he's still just like devouring this dinosaur head. Yeah, and then he's just like, "I'll contact you. You know I can find you. Just don't leave the city."
Yeah. Didn't plan on it. Thanks.
All right, sounds good. Well, you guys enjoy your breakfast. I'm going to head out now.
All
And
right.
he taps the big guy on the back, and just he taps him. Dude throws up another thumbs up, and then smaller guy just goes, and then walks out. But yeah, you guys are getting breakfast, coffees, bartenders in the back getting it for you already.
Oh, can I get some alamasas, some of that bread? Yeah.
another bartender. This bartender is weird, in that he has like
Everyone in this
band-
city's fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. he kind of looks like. Actually, they're a common enough race. Why am I not describing? Never mind. The bartender's a bugbear.
Whoa.
This other bartender is a bugbear, and when you ask for the bread, he's just like elven bread coming up, and he writes it on a piece of paper and then slides it through a little slit in the wall that looks like it probably goes into the kitchen.
Nice.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I just give him myself. He needs to slide it over.
So after a minute or two, the waitress comes back with like 6 cups of coffee balanced in her arms. One mug is blue and the rest are white. She sets the blue one in front of Salvatore.
Thank you much.
And then she immediately like sprints back into the back and comes back out with your bread for you. She gives you that too. And yeah, you guys have your breakfast. If you'd like to
Hell
keep
yeah.
talking or anything.
Hell no. I start chugging, just digging straight into the bread.
Alright, dope.
Like, not even a chance. That mug came into the bar and went straight into my hand.
Fair enough. What's Sora up to? Still just kind of in the corner.
Yeah, just kind of like sitting there.
Found the edge lord.
Yep. You're ready. Yeah.
All right. And
He's like eating and like just, like drinking regular breakfast foods and drinks. He's not just like stare.
so about
Uninterested.
10-15 minutes pass then, and what would you guys like to do? You pretty much all finished your breakfast.
So I would like to
I get up and go up to Sora.
I'd like to inquire my current party about our potential trip. So are we going down later? Was it down or up?
Down.
Everything's down from here.
I know. You don't have to remind me. So are we going down from here, or when should we travel, friends?
Sure. Let's go. I don't see why.
Well, it seems like Casmir's in the middle of something. Sora's in the corner brooding, and Zohar.
I'm not brooding. You hear?
Are you sure you're sitting in the corner facing the wall? That sounds like brooding to me.
I'm not facing the wall.
I know.
Salvatore's just being extra.
He's ribbing you.
I'm just sitting in a booth eating my fucking breakfast. Can a man just eat some fucking breakfast? Goddamn.
Aren't you a kid still?
I am older than you.
Doesn't mean you are older than me, though. That actually makes sense when you think about it, because you're older than me, but you're not mentally older than me.
I'm mentally older than most people your age, but I don't know about you.
All right.
I'm ready to go whenever.
I mean, I don't
I've had my coffee.
care what we do.
I've had my bread. I have my energy.
I am
Says in an unnatural voice.
So we're leaving?
X.
Well, I think once Casmir's
Oh yeah, I'm just waiting on you guys.
Casmir, would you like to wrap up first, or would you want to catch up with us?
Oh no, we're good. Martin's just having his meal.
Yeah, so you guys have pretty much finished your breakfast at this point. 15 minutes go by. He is on his 3rd platter of meat from the dinosaur creature and is just ravenously still tearing into it.
No, I thought you had something to do with Elias, though. That's all.
Oh, gotcha. But no, yeah, dude is just tearing into it still. 15
What
minutes later.
day is it? Is it the 21st or the 22nd?
Today
It's
the
the
22nd.
22nd.
Okay, I
Correct.
thought so, but
Oh, didn't we have to go see the king? Actually,
Today is Fire Day. No, he calls on us. Don't go to.
I thought he did. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
no, they haven't called us yet.
Yeah.
We'll call you.
What happens if he calls us while we're in the museum?
We have to fucking go right then.
I'm saying, what if they can't find? Well, they definitely can find us. Never mind.
No, we go to them. They don't have to find us. They'll only come to find us if like we don't go to them. In which case we'll probably be in a lot of trouble. So we should just go.
Let's go to the museum. I mean the place.
I guess you could say we're spending a day at the museum.
A night, you fucking
The
idiot.
beach.
Stay at the museum.
It's 8 o'clock. It's 8:15.
No, but
What do you mean? And
I mean, we'll probably be there all night.
All night.
but it's
Oh,
8:15 in the morning.
How long does it take us to go down?
Depends
how
on
long?
how you want to get there. I mean, if you want to walk, it's going to take you the better part of the day.
We can scoot.
But you can take scoot cars. I mean, scoot cars will get you there in like an hour.
I'll take. How expensive is
I'm
scoot
sorry,
scoots?
with traffic, it'll get you there in an hour.
How expensive are scoot scoots?
Scoot.
Wait, what about scoot scoots?
How expensive are they?
You can pay them whatever you want. The more you pay the scoot, the faster it goes.
Well, can I just drive it myself?
Wait, what the
Wait,
fuck are you guys
does
talking
Salvatore
about?
have a-
Scoots. What
So
the?
driving it yourself would be like the equivalent of hot wiring a car. Like you'd have to break open the panel and like insert.
Wait, what are we hot wiring? What the fuck is happening?
We're talking about getting a scoot.
Are there
What the
any
fuck is
nearby?
a scoot?
It's a
A
car.
fucking scooter car.
The fucking car.
That was never
Scooter.
explained.
Oh,
Yeah,
those
yeah,
are
but they
thing.
got it from
Those are a
context.
thing apparently.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just
no,
It was,
the
context.
first
it
thing-
was never explained.
What?
You guys saw it for half a second when Casmir's brother used one.
No, we also saw them at the entrance whenever
Oh,
we
well, yeah,
got off
but,
the
like,
ship. Yeah.
What I'm saying is, Leor
Yeah.
is not wrong for being
God.
confused. You never used
Yeah.
one.
No, but like,
So
it's just
scoot.
Okay,
I had
so
scoot.
are we taking the scoot or not?
I want a hot wire one because I can get there faster than these people.
Oh
most
my
likely.
god.
All right,
I'm
so he
going
wants.
with you.
So Richard wants the hot wire one.
You want to steal one
Yes.
in front of your friend who's basically like a cop.
He's not a
You don't
cop,
have to
he's
be a cop.
Rich. And a
You
cop.
talking?
He's talking about himself. He's a
Well,
paladin.
Well, I thought he was talking about Casmir.
No,
No,
Casper
I
doesn't
would.
care.
I mean, it's just like that. I have my urchin class feature, which allows me to go twice as fast in any city environment.
Cashmere, don't you have like a family
was-
card or something?
Figuring that might be better than having
Yeah,
some.
don't
I
you
guess,
have-
you know, actually, would I be able to use that if I just gave the guy directions? Like, I'd say, "Hey, turn here," or like, "Go that way." Would
Oh,
that still?
they're not driven. They're automatic.
Oh, that's even easier to hot. Of course, I'm gonna
Yeah.
hot wire.
No, yeah, it's
All right,
the hot
cool.
wiring of it is I in the 10 years Sora's lived here, he's probably done it before.
Absolutely.
The hot wiring of those is literally like you bust open the panel and connect the wires to yourself, and then you can funnel magic into the cart.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
You just have to bust
Let's
the
do
panel.
that. Let's just
I'm
do
totally gonna do that. Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I'm gonna help you.
Wait. Hold on. We
We're
we
hot
left the
wiring.
tavern and where are we now?
No, you
We are
didn't leave
going.
yet. You didn't leave yet. You guys were talking about leaving.
Yes.
Oh, I thought we.
Yeah, I
Left.
thought we were already heading towards this.
Oh,
I don't
my
know.
bad. Well, no, yeah. So, you guys leave the tavern then, and the city is a completely different, like, visage than it was when you first went at night, because you had
Also, I'll
only
be back.
seen it at night. And it is, as soon as you guys walk out, you're kind of secluded a little because you're in like the alleyway type roads of the mercantile district. But you can already hear that the city itself is bustling. Like the actual main streets are like filled. There's people everywhere. You hear what sounds like music playing farther off towards the royal estates, like loud music. You hear kind of construction noises coming from that direction as well. Another thing that for you people who have never been in the city, something you guys notice, what you couldn't see last night because it looks like it was probably shut down, is there is a giant train system that basically runs along the walls of the city, like the inner walls of the city.
The trains don't get us anywhere near, right?
So the trains do take you lower down, but you have to like wait for, or you'd have to get there at the time that it gets to the station. You know what I mean?
Would that be? Would it be a super bad idea timing wise to take a train?
It would take longer than the cart, but you'd have more versatility of where you get off, because the carts don't go down the layers; they'll just take you to the entrance of the lower layers.
I should probably take
Whereas the train itself goes down to the layers.
I mean,
All right, I'm back.
so with walking, so like if I led the group and we did a car and then walking, would that take less time than the train?
Yes.
We should do that.
Also, because city's super packed right now, but the train itself is actually, it's not like on tracks. There are like these crystal kind of mounts on the walls, and the train like glides over this electric energy that the crystals put out.
Please stop.
And
It is hurting me
It like
inside.
glides along the walls.
It's hurting me to not take the train. Please stop.
Just sorry. I have a visual for this though, so I do want to show you the visual here.
Visually.
So
This is what it looks like.
I'm just gonna stick with Salvatore.
And check general, boys. That's what the train looks like, but off of like crystal mounts that are on the walls, basically.
Interesting.
Whoa, that's cool.
I'm waiting for it to load.
And that goes all over the city. Like, it looks like it goes along the walls. It looks like there's kind of like floating crystal mounts that go above the city. It then dips under into the lower layers. But yeah, so faster for you guys though would be like taking a cart, taking it over here to the entrance to 2, and then just riding like the lift down to 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Down to 3, excuse me?
We're going down to level 3.
The museum's on the 3rd layer.
Yep.
So we're taking the train. Got it.
No.
No.
Taking the carts.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we'll have to do some walking.
Let's go.
Luckily, you know your way around down there fairly well, Sora.
Not very well. Super fucking well. Twice
Wait.
as good as most people.
Does the cart? How many people does the cart seat?
Each cart can seat 3 people.
I'm going in the.
Because there's like 2 front seats and then 1 singular back seat.
I will ride in the back.
I guess so. Right in the back with Salvatore.
There's only 1 seat in the back, usually, not just here.
Wait. So who's
you guys
buying
have to
one
do
and who's
2.
stealing one?
Yeah.
We're not stealing one exactly. Just not even stealing
Could
one
you
at all,
could
just
could
taking it.
you could you teach me how to do
it?
it? Could you teach me how to pilot it if I could use my magic? Technically.
I'm not gonna do that actually, because I feel like that'd be overly suspicious, and I don't think it would save us much time anyway. So I'm just gonna leave it normal.
All right. How much does it cost?
I could like give you like a whole conversion chart, but if you pay it 1 gold, you can get to the entrance to 2 in 20 minutes.
One gold it is. All right.
I don't know how much
Down.
gold I haven't really been keeping track of my money. That's
You
not-
got it?
Bro, yeah,
I
got it.
haven't really been.
Well, whoever I'm riding with, I'll pay since it's.
I'll
3
just
gold,
have
right?
I'll
And
just have
Sora?
13 gold. I lost 2 gold. Let's say that.
Yeah, I'm going in the one.
What
Sora,
did
and
you
I
say?
think Sora just paid, so.
Did yes. But if someone else wants to, like, you can definitely do it.
All right, dude, I got you. I'll pay.
All right.
Where the fuck is my money on this character sheet?
No,
If you
I'll hop
scroll
in
down
with.
to equipment,
Yeah.
When did I get the 2?
and
I'll
then
hop
Equipment,
in with
there I have
Sora
inventory.
and Valindra, and I'll pay. Fuck you, Valindra.
what? Inventory.
I'm already. I'll let you pay.
I
Hold on.
I don't have equipment. I don't see
Yo.
equipment.
It's a
Who
tab
would-
after limited. And before it's
Currency, here we go. I have 49 gold. Yay.
Wow, I'm so poor.
I have 89 gold and 4 silver.
I got 13 gold.
That's
I mean, yeah, but like
have 18
Valindra
gold.
made a
I
bunch
gotta
of
look at
money.
my currency. I have 14 gold.
Leor took starting gold and only bought essentials.
Guys, first time in the campaign, the cash money. Cash money. Without counting the room. which I don't think you paid because you're cash money.
All right, I pay 1 gold to the guy.
It's well, no. So that's the thing. It's an automated cart.
So it's
you're
like a
basically
fucking
putting
city
a
bike
coin-
in
Yeah,
Manhattan.
you're putting. Sure, I've never been to Manhattan. You're putting a coin in a machine, pressing where you want to go, like locations, and then it takes you there.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So we got Sora, Valindra, and
Cash money in one.
cash money in 1. So I'll
And
pay.
then
I'll stick with Salvatore and look at him like, this way, friend.
That
And
just
then
means we have a
I hop on the cart and motion him to get on. And then I'll look at Sora and be like, "You coming?"
I'm already in the other one.
Oh,
yeah. And the cart station. There's lots of stations where you can get in the carts.
Mhm.
There's one maybe 2-minute walk from Monstrous Confections, like right back out onto the main road. And when you guys get onto the main road, you see just how crowded the city is now. Like the portal at the main gate seems like it is working overtime. Like there are carts and people riding on horseback and just like people flooding through that main portal. There's airships landing up above. Like there's airships flying over and landing at the port district. A quick glance at the port district, there is just hordes and droves of people walking off the ports into the city. Some of them are like looking around, like there's people in like just regular t-shirts and like farmers clothes. There's like people in these noble regal like outfits. Like this is a whole mix match of people. There's humans, elves, dwarves, tieflings, like all the races just flooding in the city right now.
Is it like shoulder walking traffic?
Back on the main road, yes. Once you get into
Oh.
the mercantile district, the roads are pretty small, so it's just like just walking, and not a lot of people are really walking around the mercantile district. They're basically sightseeing.
All right.
and
Well,
the city is shaped like a D20.
Very
Um,
defensible structure.
And the you said the fucking card station.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh sweet dude.
Hell yeah! Turn it up! Turn it up!
On my
Thunder.
walk there,
Feel the thunder,
I want to
lightning and the thunder.
Go.
I like this song. Fuck you.
I know.
I
It's
know,
a good
we don't
song,
need to
and
hear
it makes for good city music. But let Elo do his thing, you dork.
Yeah, Imagine Dragons. Woo!
the most confusing part is that I don't hear.
Oh yeah, Elo can't hear the music.
He's playing.
I
He's
forgot.
playing Lightning in the Thunder by Imagine Dragons.
Amazing. But anyways, yeah, so who I bump with, and if I bump into someone that looks like he has money, I'm gonna try to pick him up.
All right. So you could walk out onto the main road and try and just bump into somebody. There's lots of people who look like nobles.
Yeah, I thought that we had to.
Yeah, you basically have to go onto the main road for like a minute, and then you can get off and get to the cart station.
Yeah, that's what I.
Oh, okay. Make a perception check really quick.
Thunder.
Try and find like the
Feel the
richest
thunder.
looking dude there.
Lightning and the thunder.
I'm
I'm dancing in my chair right now.
Before I do this, I can look at it.
You cut out, Eloy.
Oh, before I
You
do
said
this,
you looked at Aeolus and.
and I wink at him.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
17.
So yeah, 17. You spot this. This older-looking human man who's getting out of a horse-drawn carriage, coming like near the portal. He's like getting out like right here by the cart station.
Okay.
And he gets out and he's just like looking into the cart, and like you hear him for a second. He's like, be careful with those. Those are priceless. As people are like unloading his carriage.
Zohar's like,
And he's just like he's actually at the moment leaning in the cart, looking like he's talking to someone with like his ass hanging out of the cart.
Oh baby, it's calling for me, dude.
Concho.
As I go into the crowd, before I like come out after them, I'm guys and like change myself to look like a thief.
All right. And you're just gonna
here's
do
my
that in the
sleight
middle
of
of the
hand.
street?
Wait.
Oh, sleight of hand.
I'm gonna cast guidance on Eloy.
All right.
Oh my
Wait, what's he doing?
I love you.
Yes, you're
He gave, Valindra is currently pickpocketing a nobleman.
Oh, you
Mhm.
should let me do that.
Noble
do that.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Should've let
That's
me
why.
do that.
That's why I winked at you.
Oh.
Son.
Ooh, Zohar sees you. You see him. He real quick like throws up this magic and makes himself look like what color tiefling?
Kind of like.
I know you sent me
Not
the
like a-
picture, but I don't remember
like-
what color it was.
If I remember correctly, it's like a red pink, like.
Okay. But yeah, so he turns into this like reddish pink kind of tiefling, and then Valindra walks up and just like starts, because his robe kind of has those like side pockets that he's wearing, and she just like really carefully sliding her hand into the pocket, and Zohar, you do see her.
Mm-hmm. I grab her hand by the wrist. I walk up behind her and grab her hand by the wrist. I go, "Are you gonna be any trouble?" No, instead, actually, I don't say that. I look at her like really condescendingly, like really disappointed, like.
I did grab the thing, right?
You have your hand in his pocket, and you feel like what feels like a some kind of like ledger almost, like it feels like a book. It's what he has in his pocket there. He didn't notice you. And then like you have your hand around the like leather kind of bound book, and then Zohar puts his hand on your arm, and so your hand is just like stuck in this dude's pocket.
I'm
gonna
just
lose
looking at
Zohar.
you like really disappointed.
I mean, I'm gonna like.
Remember, your hand is in the man's pocket.
No, I pull her hand out of the dude's pocket.
Try to sneak over and.
That's not a good idea, I think.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So Zohar just like grabs her arm by like the forearm and just pulls her hand out of the pocket. You had the book in your grip already, so you pull out this small like journal-looking book, and then you just immediately. What do you want to do with it? Like immediately stash it, or?
Just let go of it as.
Toss it to me.
I'm gonna let go of it. Grab, dude.
What? I can't hear you.
Yeah, you broke
I'm
up.
gonna-
You said you were
sorry.
gonna grab it.
No,
You're
I'm
fine.
gonna let go of it as if I had never.
You had never what?
Oh my god, hold on. 1 second. 1 second.
He's gonna let you go of it as like he never tried to grab it.
Yeah, I don't think he's taking it out of the guy's pocket. Is what he's trying to say.
1 second.
No problem.
Hello?
One.
Hi.
Yes.
Can you guys hear
Yeah.
me better now?
Yes.
Yes.
Sweet. I was saying that I let go of the book as if I had never grabbed it.
Sam was right.
Okay. Sounds good.
I kind of like, while I still have her by the arm, I kind of push her away, and like still give her this like I can't believe you've done this kind of look. Pick up the book and then I say, "Here, sir, you drop this."
The man turns around and he's like, "Excuse me? What why do you have my journal?
It
What do you mean I dropped it?
it fell out of your pocket.
Give me that." He snatches it out of your hand. And
I walk away.
As you're walking away, he gets back in the cart and he's like, "Goddamn sycophants," and then closes the door behind him.
I just think to myself, being a paladin's a thankless job. I still look at Valindra like, "You're better than this."
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
Next time,
like
I look at her like,
Can I?
I look at her like, I just look at her like, I'm so disappointed in you, like a parent, and then like, next time. I won't be so
And,
nice.
Oh god. And Aeolus, what did you want to do?
Can I look around and see if there's like any banks near us?
Banks? You can't rob a bank.
Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus! No, there are no banks near you. You are near the entrance of the gate of the city. You are in the port district, like area-ish. You're like here on the border of the port and mercantile district.
Okay.
Look, Zohar, you can let go of me now because we got to the cart station.
I already let go of her.
Oh.
I like shoved you away from the old guy, essentially.
Oh god.
I scurry. I drop my disguise and I scurry away.
Sounds good. All right, so you guys.
Oh, I fucking follow her. I make sure she goes back to the cart.
All right, you guys get in your carts. You pay your respective 2 gold, and you press for the entrance to the lower levels. And the carts immediately there's like this small whirring noise, like, and then they immediately take off along the streets. They're not going crazy fast because you did a single gold, but they're moving at a much faster than walking speed. Like if you ran like full speed, you could maybe catch up to it.
I toss in another gold piece into our cart. And I look at and I'm like holding the controls like as if I'm driving it, and I just like I fuck the next cart that they're in, like
Alright,
catch
so
me if you
your
can.
Your cart begins to speed up on the little two-lane like cart road, because there's walking roads and then like cart roads, kind of like trolley roads. And your cart like immediately starts to speed up past theirs. It's just like it starts inching and then it just keeps gaining and gaining and gaining and gaining. And then you guys see Zohar's big bearded face just look at you like, huh, as his cart goes back.
Whoa. There's nothing I can do to make this car go faster.
You
More
pump
money.
in more money. You pump in more money.
5 gold.
Wait, which car am I in? Which
Oh
car am
Jesus!
Jesus.
You're in the one with Zohar.
Oh.
Which one am
You
I
just,
in again?
you just, as we're driving by, you just see Salvatore pouring himself a glass of champagne in the
I'm
back.
gonna use my conjuration ability to try and conjure as perfect as I can replica of like 5 platinum pieces, which are clearly magic, but the cart might not know that.
Oh my god, I'm gonna.
It's a visual thing.
Oh, well, so if it's a visual, are they tangible?
They're all right. Let me just they're tangible, but they glow basically.
Okay. Let me
Oh,
can you link me to it?
Yeah, I'll just copy it.
Blast.
Oop, there you go.
There it is. All right.
Thunder. Feel the
Conjure
thunder.
an inanimate object in your hand. The object can be no longer than 3 feet. Visibly, magically radiating dim light. Disappears after 1 hour. Yeah, okay. So you conjure up this 5 platinum, and you like shoot the coins and like, and your cart, these actual these harnesses come out of the seat of the cart and wrap around your lower waist, keeping your waist secured against the back of the seat as the cart just fucking flies past their cart. Like they blink, Zohar is able to make eye contact with you guys, and then your cart goes and just takes off.
I want to chug the airplane flask Salvatore gave me earlier as we pass them.
Yeah, there's motion blur on them, how fast they move to Salvatore, Zohar, and Aeolus. They're gone.
I raise my cup to them.
Yeah, in this split second we pass, I look straight at Zohar and I just kind of
You what?
Like that Luigi thing when Luigi's passing Mario in slow-mo.
Oh, the super pissed off Luigi.
I just crack a half smile. for like a
Even-
split
yeah.
second.
You even hear the lute and plays dun 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 dun.
After about 2 seconds, Zohar, Salvatore, and Aeolus, you can't see their cart anymore. Like it's gone. It's wound around a corner. Like their cart is gone.
I take a seat and I'm like, pour me another one, Salvatore.
I just sit there and I look at Salvatore and I just say, "Give me 3, please."
I only have 2 cups. And I give me each a cup.
Do you have a bottle then?
Yes, but it's mine.
Give me the fucking bottle.
No,
I want the bottle. Give me.
I gave you one before. This one's mine.
Wait,
I look at Aeolus, I'm like, Aeolus,
what?
we can share a cup.
Fine.
No, I meant I have 2 extra cups. One for each of you.
Oh.
Well, let's enjoy the
Yeah,
sights,
why would
boys.
You think I don't carry 3 cups with me? What kind of monster do you think I am? Brock and Ray is no fool.
Tear either.
Um,
I crack another half smile and I look at Salvatore like I like you.
I like me too. You're okay too.
No, I don't say it. I just give you like a look like
let me.
this guy
We don't have the
knows
chance
what I
to-
like.
We don't
I
have the
need to
chance talk
steal-
about cards.
I was gonna say I need to steal cart 1 for a second.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
What have I done? I didn't want I didn't mean for this to like turn into a full on like
Yeah, I
Oh
do.
my
I just looked at that picture that Logan posted in general. Oh boy. I love how the music's still playing though. Like as this is all going, the music's still playing.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
Yeah. They just zoom by. So I looked at my character sheet
Mhm.
and like since the last time we played, I now have 4 weapons: a dagger, an offhand dagger, an offhand short sword, and a short sword. But the dagger.
Dude, you want
Even better last
rapiers.
You do realize you have a carry capacity, right?
Yeah, but I didn't
Yeah, but the
even
daggers are
think that.
nothing.
Yeah, but eventually enough daggers will
They
be
weigh 1
something.
pound. They weigh 1
Yeah,
pound.
how much strength do you have?
Dude, you want rapiers. You want to dual wield
11
rapiers.
strength.
Yeah,
11.
that's not a very high carry capacity.
I do have. Yeah.
Look up rapiers, dude.
Alright.
It's a D8 as opposed to like a D4 or a D6. And they're finesse weapons. You can dual wield them.
Yeah, this one says the daggers are finesse, light, and thrown.
Science will reveal the truth.
My short sword weigh like.
What an interesting hypothesis. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, let me look at the.
All right, so you guys continue. You guys continue your cart ride. About 10 minutes pass. You know, taking in the sights. You see lots of tourists walking around. You see merchants like barking wares and opening up shops, and people with like artist sketch pads. They look like they're kind of drawing stuff as they're looking, and like you see people with horse-drawn carriages, like offering rides, stuff like that. You're just kind of looking out at them riding on the cart. A lot of people that look like they're not from here, just based on the looks they give you, are like, "What?" as they're like looking at your cart, like going fast, driving along the road. Um, and yeah, about 10 minutes pass, and you guys make it to the archway. You make it to this large archway that looks like it's carved into the wall of Brimstone. And the archway goes about 20 feet in, and then there's this giant, what looks like this giant like lift elevator. Posted outside the elevator, there's three men in like this heavy metal armor with big horns coming off their helmets. I have a picture of them actually. That's what they look like.
Spook.
They're just standing there, kind of like towards the entrance with their arms crossed, just like looking out. They each have a big greatsword on their back. And then as you guys pull up and your cart settles in, and it just like it settles in with this nice like relaxing like as the cart like powers down, and the doors kind of open on the sides for you guys to get out. And as you're getting out, you see Valindra and Casmir and Sora just kind of standing there waiting. They look like they've been out of their cart for a while.
He was still not bad.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
He died.
Rip.
I told him his brother called 911. They're fucked.
It's been about an hour. Like it's.
He called 911. The embassy's after.
I tried to tell him. Ivan didn't listen. R-U-D-E-D dead. Oh, I said R-U died, but I'm sticking with it. I'm calling 911. The embassy got the motor though.
But no, yeah, I don't even know how they got there.
I mean, you saw them take off in their cart, but you haven't seen them in about 10 minutes. So, but yeah, we'll catch Eloy up. What would you guys like to do from here?
I mean,
Part 2, because you guys just got here.
and we see everyone
Get
else
out.
there.
Yeah, you see everyone else there. They're just kind of standing around.
All right, I
Like,
make
as
my
the-
way
as the
towards the
cart-
teleporter.
As the cart pulls up, I'm gonna flick him off.
I'm just gonna get out.
Like, both hands.
And Leor, it's not a teleporter. It's just a big elevator.
Whatever.
I'm just gonna go hand Salvatore back his bottle.
All right.
It wasn't even mine. It was the fucking taverns. You just stole their cup.
But yeah.
I always
so
take
you
a new cup though.
Oh god. You guys get there then and get out of your cart, walk on up to the elevator. The guards don't say anything to you. They're kind of glancing at everyone as they're walking around. And there are other people kind of coming into the elevator. There's only a handful though. 9 people around this area. It doesn't look like many of the festival going tourists are really looking to go down to the lower levels. So your travel here is kind of unhampered. Everybody just getting on the elevator?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys get on the elevator. The elevator does not cost you money. That's just a simple, you have to wait if someone else is going higher than you or whatever. So you guys are going to 3. There's 3 other people on the elevator with you. They look like they're in a group, and they look like they are going to 2. Like they walk up and they press the big button for 2. You guys walk over and press the big button for 3. And then starts like a 30-second elevator ride of silence as they're just kind of talking to each other. Like like, oh, can you believe this place? Like stuff like that. They're very clearly not from around here.
Yeah. And they're going to the lower level?
They're going to 2, yeah.
It's a bad idea, right?
It's not a terrible idea. If they go flashing money, they'll get robbed. But 2 is relatively safe-ish. There's still a decent guard presence on 2.
Okay.
It's like a fringe city in an empire, basically. It's once you go past 2, that's when you start getting into bigger danger zones.
I see.
As far as like robberies and muggings go.
And we are going past 2. We're going to 3.
Yes.
On the same elevator? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
same
when
elevator.
When they get out, I just want to like tell them, well, be careful. Like as the doors are closing, so they can't ask me why.
Yeah, I was gonna say as you're closing, like you just see the woman turn back around. You just hear like, "Oh, honey, did you hear that?" And then the door's closed. And yeah, and then the elevator continues ticking onward another 30 seconds, and then you just hear a voice go 3, and then the doors open up, and as you exit the elevator, you're greeted by a much darker, like danker kind of atmosphere. Like there's no natural light. Like it is the middle of the day, and it is not dim light, but it's like dusk kind of light down here. There are street lamps giving off light, and you can see that there's like some fireworks from deeper in, but there's no natural light, so it's it's dim-ish, and this layer is very much in contrast to the first layer. Like up there, you saw these towering buildings and these really nice homesteads and like these intricate shops, and down here it's like little houses, maybe a stand or 2 as you kind of walk out of the elevator. It looks like they're selling like essential stuff like blankets and stuff like that. But there's nothing flashy, there's nothing impressive, there's not really anything going on. And when you exit the elevator, a man walks up and is just like, "Hello, do you guys need a guided tour of our wondrous 3rd level?"
No.
He turns and looks at you and he's like, "What? What
Nope.
do you mean? What do you mean no?"
Nope. Bye.
I totally ignore him and walk past him.
And you, sir, he walks up to you, Casmir, and he's like, "You look like a fine man who looks like he needs a hand walking around the city. I could, guide you around. My prices are real modest."
Does it look like I need help walking?
Well, I don't want to imply you need help. I just, I'm a good spirit. I want
I'm
to look
sorry.
out for a fellow man.
You've said too much. You've already offended me. Go
Hold on.
away.
I'm gonna walk up to him. I'm gonna walk up to him and hand him a silver and be like, please leave us alone.
He just takes the silver and he's like, "I've made less doing more," and he just turns and walks away. Man, now you guys are unhampered. There's no one looking like they're bothering you. You see like some people like sitting against buildings and having conversations who, when you get out of the elevator, just kind of like turn and give you like a little side eye, but nobody's engaging with you. Sora, you know where the museum is. It's not too far from the elevator. It's only about 5-6 minute walk. If you take like the main roads, if you take the alleys like your way, it'll only take you like 3 minutes. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing really going on down here. Like you can hear like the very, very faint thumping of music from up above, like the roof. You kind of get those like phantom vibrations off the roof, where it's just like every once in a while, because you can kind of hear music up above.
Okay.
But it doesn't look like anybody's doing anything festival-wise down here. Like most of them just kind of look like they're either doing their own thing or they look grumpy.
All right. Well, then, would it like? I guess the Aeolus to take the back
He's
streets
coming
and stuff,
back.
even though that's kind of dangerous. They're fine.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
we're down on the 3rd level. So
Trying to stay here for as long as I can until I can fucking turn on this stupid laptop. I don't know why, but like nothing I plug into my house like gets enough power. The phones keep dying before like they can charge. Same thing happened to the iPad. Same thing's happening to like everything. It's so stupid.
rip.
That is like mad weird.
Yeah.
What did I miss?
But to recap, the cart 2, Valindra pulled up to the station. You guys exchanged some remarks with each other. Nobody really said anything. They were just kind of Aeolus flipped you guys off. And then you guys walked past these guards, pictured above the last picture I posted, who have these great swords on their back, and they're just kind of like leaning up against they're just kind of like standing guard at the elevator that goes down to the lower levels. Everybody got on the elevator then. You guys hit your destination for 3. There was a family, well, not family, a group that looked like they were from out of town who were going to 2, and as they were getting off the elevator, Sora was like, be careful, and they were like, oh, did you hear that? And then the doors closed. And then you guys got off at 3. There was, the immediate atmosphere from down here is a lot different. You can hear like a faint thumping of music from above, but aside from that, you don't really hear any music. You can hear what sounds like some like rowdy, like what you could write off as like tavern ruckus coming from off to the like west of the city. And then the people kind of just look like they're doing their own things. Like there's some people like just sitting on like house porches almost, like reading. The light down here, there's no natural light. It's like street lights and like that kind of like past dusk city urban type feel. Like that's what the whole like area looks like. Even though you know it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. There some people like casting glances at you as you guys like get off the elevator, but nobody's actively engaging you. There was one man who ran up and offered to guide you guys through the city. Sora said go away. Zohar was like, ugh, and then walked away from him, completely ignoring him. And then he went up to Casmir, tried to convince Casmir. Casmir told him he offended him and to go away. And then Zohar paid him a silver, and he was like, okay, and he left. But yeah.
I would have offered him a drink.
Oh no, he's gone again. Rip intel. Oh yeah, you could offer him a drink. You're just gonna give him one of your like glasses.
Yep.
Little shot glass.
Yep.
He takes it and throws the shot back, and then he goes, thank you, and puts the cup into like his coat pocket, and then walks away.
That's fine.
Uh,
I just got a new airplane cup.
Also, what are you hammering, Gio?
I am eating Ritz and milk.
Okay, I was gonna say, because it sounded like you were like hammering some metal out, like. But yeah, so Sora, the back alleyways, if you want to take those, I mean, even the main roads. The museum is off to the east side of the city. You've never been down here for like a long time, like you've never tried to go into the museum before, but you know where it is, because it's like, you know, it was an old attempt before you even lived here, an old attempt at trying to modernize the 3rd layer. Like it was this museum that Nereus the halfling tried to start to showcase arcane wonders from around the world to the 3rd layer, like stuff like that.
Okay.
And then for unknown reasons is shut down 80 years ago.
Oh boy, this is the museum we gotta go into, right?
80
This
years.
is the museum you guys are going to. It's 80 years.
are there any signs on the museum?
Well, on the actual museum there might be, but like on your walk there, you do see like some road signs indicating like which ways to go. You said you did want to take the alleys, right, Sora?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Roll perception for me as you're walking.
Oh, jeez. Is anyone else helping with this, or is it just me?
Yeah.
I'll
I mean,
help.
Yeah, you can get advantage on it.
Yeah.
And this isn't like
Salvatore,
passive.
I mean-
This isn't what? Sorry.
This isn't just like a passive check. We need to actually roll this.
No, yeah, I want you to like actually.
Wait, what are we rolling strength for?
No,
got
no,
19.
no. You're rolling perception. Only
I got
Sora is
19.
rolling perception. Only so. Also, what I like.
Okay, is
being
there
more
a slide for this part?
Maybe you'll see.
I have a question.
And yes.
No, for like
Well, I
the
know
third
the-
level.
Well, I know how careful I'd have to be around here. Like, was I? Was I a
You
criminal?
wouldn't have spent. You wouldn't have really spent time on the third. I mean, you could have made like house calls down here if you really wanted to, but there would
Yeah.
have been no real reason for you to make a trip to the third.
We'll just say that I've come here a few times, but not really familiar. So I know
Yeah,
it's
like,
dangerous.
maybe a few times. You know, and it's not like you're
God.
going into the den of a thieves guild. It's not the most dangerous thing, but it is like, you know, don't talk about having a lot of money. Don't piss people off unless you're ready to start a fight. Like, people don't react nicely to other people being assholes on this layer.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so you guys get there. Sorry, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. I mean, there's just alleyways, people kind of glancing at you when you're dipping in and out of the alleyways. And then there's when you start to get closer to the museum, you're about let me actually pull up my map here. Yeah, you're about 75 feet before the doors of the museum, which is actually like in an alleyway itself. Like the building is long and continues backward, almost like into the streets, and you have to go into an alleyway to get to the door. Like, so taking the alleyways you know was smart because you can get there in about 2 minutes
Cool.
of just like brisk walking through the alleys. So you're just like, come on guys, let's go. You get there, and the big doors you've seen before, they're these big wooden ornate doors that look like they're trying to stand the test of time. Like the wood looks like it's starting to rot just a little bit, and like the gold trim is kind of rubbing off. It looks like somebody may have tried to chip at the gold a little bit. And then
It's not real gold, right?
no, it doesn't look like it's real gold. Especially with how easily it chips off. And when you get within about 75 feet away from the door of the museum, there's a little girl just kind of like sitting on the ground reading a book. But that's the only people you see in the alleyway. And I'm putting you guys on the map now.
A little girl?
There's a little girl on the ground reading a book.
What's the book?
You want to just like peek over her and look at the book?
I don't know. I'm suspicious of this. A little girl reading a book in an alley that's some danger bells going off.
I'm gonna walk over to the little girl and put my hand on her back.
That's not
What?
crazy.
She's just reading a
sitting
book.
against a wall.
Well,
she's
to get
sitting
her
against-
attention. God damn. Wow. Alright, fuck it. I won't play my character the way I want to play it. Fuck it.
No, I'm just confused. Why are we
No
so
one said
concerned about
that.
this? No, I'm just confused. I was confused in general why everyone's so concerned about this little girl. This little girl. It's not our. I mean, like, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Going up and getting her attention is fine. She's sitting against a wall, though. So, trying to put your hand on her back won't exactly work, is what I was trying to say. So you just want to like go up and get her attention. Sora, as you kind of like look at her and try and see what book she's reading, she like pulls it against her like chest, and she's like, "That's rude, you know."
Yeah, that's true.
She says that to me?
She said that to Sora because he tried to look at the book, and then you're standing next to her as well. And I mean, do you want to say anything? I'm done talking. Sorry.
I'll be like, you know what? I'll just be like, what are you doing here? Stop that.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with
okay.
reading.
I'm gonna stop reading my book because some random person tells me to. Okay.
No, books are great.
And here, there we go. Now I have the map ready. Let me move you guys onto the map. There we go.
Some dangerous stuff is probably gonna go down soon, so you should probably leave.
She just kind of looks up at you and like closes the book and she's like, "Yeah, okay." And she just gets up and starts walking.
Have a good one. Be safe. Bye.
Big brother Sora.
And she just walks off back towards the alleyway from where you guys came.
Keep reading.
All right, so I just want to. Where's the door to the museum? Is it all up here?
It's that big door there, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try
Actually,
opening it.
Can I roll sleight of hand to slip a copper, or not copper, like gold piece into her, like, if she has any pockets or bags or anything?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Here,
Yeah,
use this as a
roll
bookmarker. Oh no, he's gone again.
Do I have disadvantage on this, or?
Disadvantage since she's walking away already.
Okay. Damn, that's a bummer. But alright.
Oh.
All right. Yeah. So you take the gold piece and you like go to like put it in like her side pocket, and you end up throwing it and like hitting her in the back with it. And
Lol.
she turns around and she just like looks at you and bends down and picks up the coin. She's like, "Thanks, mister," and she keeps walking.
I say nothing. And I'm just super embarrassed.
Yeah. So the door itself has like a marking tape over it with like a big X. But aside from that, it looks like, yeah, the rotted wood, the like flaking gold, and then this big like X in tape over the actual.
Ah, yes, I've seen this before. I rip off the X.
All right, so you rip the tape and
Gee.
pull it off.
Yeah,
The
yes.
door, the door just sitting behind. I mean, what would you like to do now? Just try and push on the door.
Yeah, try to open it.
All right. So you push on the door because it does look like it's a push. And it.
Oh wait, actually, no. I just thought about this, but Salvatore, I kind of wanted to do this. Since
Yeah.
where would I have gotten a? How much would a piece of metal cost? Because I forget I can do this. Like it's like I guess because with my domain I can use a cast of channeling to like make like I use a cast in my channel, and for an hour I can make metal as long as I have some metal with me. How much does that like cost to buy?
Some scrap metal would only cost you like 2 copper.
Okay, so I wanted to before we left I wanted to make a crowbar.
I have a crowbar.
Also, yeah, Valindra just has a crowbar.
Alright,
can
well
just
I
make
didn't
one as
know
well
I made one myself
for
regardless.
free. As many times as
All
you
right.
want for
Yeah,
free.
no, you can have one too then. Salvatore.
Nice. Alright, so 1 gold. If I lose 1 gold, I get 10 silver pieces, right? And then
Yes.
then 10 silver pieces.
Oh, I gotta mark down my gold. Thank you.
So 9 silver pieces is what I
9.
have, and 18 copper. No, 8 copper. There we go. Okay. Cool. Okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna use a crowbar to force open the door. Keep forgetting
All
it.
right.
And I lost.
So there's Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't really describe the door that well. I was too caught up on the girl. Around the door is like this frame of what looks like on the right side of the door, there's like a sword carved out of stone to be kind of ornamental. That's like cracked and broken a little. On the left, there's a book. On the top, there's the top like above the mantle of the door. There's like the intricate stone carvings I'm describing.
Hold on. God damn it.
yes? Glad I stopped. So there's like these intricate carvings along the door. On the right side, there's a sword. On the left side, there's like a tome, and then above it, it actually looks like damaged so much that there looks like there were 3 figures at one point. But there's these 3 statues looming over the door. One looks intact. It looks like this kind of like demonic looking creature. And then the other 2 off to the left of it look like they're kind of smashed. There's like the bottom portion of like kind of like the other statue, like this demonic creature legs, and then the third statue is just completely broken away. Its perch is broken away, and everything.
I'm just gonna
But-
keep an eye out for, you know, guards and other such things.
Gotcha. So you're keeping an eye out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to
And-
roll perception or just use passive or?
No, just passive for the moment.
All right, so I'm gonna take a crowbar to the. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so Sal is you just plunge the crowbar into the
Wait.
crack in the door.
wait,
yeah.
is this sword or the book or is this stuff made out of metal or is this all like stone
No,
statues?
they're stone carvings.
Is
And
there
it
any
doesn't
metal on
look
the
like
sword?
it's on the door. There's some very light fringe metal.
All right, never mind.
but-
I was gonna take more scrap metal. I was gonna take more scrap metal, so.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So you wedge the crowbar in. You're just kind of like plying at the door. Go ahead and roll a strength check.
All right. With advantage or just
With
strength check?
advantage, yeah, because you have a crowbar.
Yep.
That's what a crowbar does.
Oh, I didn't know.
Strength checks.
I just
yeah.
wanted to.
Using a crowbar grants advantage to strength checks where the crowbar's levers can be applied.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Is there
so
anyone
yeah.
else? Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Go ahead.
Is there anyone else strong in the room who could like also do something here, or is it just the one person? Or
Yeah, well, I'm not strong at all, but
I think I might be the strongest person in the group besides Zohar.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
never mind then.
But I don't think Leo. Leo, are you here?
Yeah.
What's your strength? Do you want to try it? Well, if we don't get it open, you could try next.
So you wedge the crowbar in. You lean on it with your old man weight. Like you guys see, like his muscles bulge for a second, and he, in his normally like gaunt frame, his muscles bulge, and he smashes the door, and you hear the wood crack as the doors fly open, and there's this like dusty, stagnant air that immediately comes flooding out. Like it just and dust and like cobwebs and shit all come like flying out of the door towards you guys as it like depressurizes, almost. As you
Yeah.
I look at Sal and Sora and I go, gosh, I think this building is older than the both of you combined.
Well, you're probably. Well, yes, it was closed down 80 years ago. I'm not
And
even
then-
65.
And then Casmir, make a perception for me. Okay. So as you're keeping an eye out and looking, everybody's focused on Salvatore cracking the door open. None of you notice the. You write it off as the wood cracking from the door, and
Oh,
none of you notice
fuck.
the. Yeah, I have to give you vision again. See, I was hoping you weren't gonna do that.
Well, I just did it for the meme,
Gotcha.
and the
very
meme's
good.
over.
But
Wait, why am I so
so
far over here?
because you didn't move yourself.
Oh,
But
Oh, I'm loading
you
into
write it-
Roll20.
no worries. You write it off as the wood cracking because none of you really notice it, and Casmir was the one keeping watch. And he hasn't noticed it either. But there was this sound of stone cracking as well as Salvatore was like breaking the door open, and then in a split second you hear this like demonic kind of gurgling, like just like, and then the stone statue flies off the wall.
Wait, I hear
Jumps
this?
down to the ground. None of you heard this fast enough to react. The stone statue breaks off of the mantle, flies down to the ground, and tries to punch Casmir.
Casmir, rip in peace.
Didn't even hear it.
Oh.
Let's see
I
here.
see him. I see the spooky
Yeah.
boy.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and the like demonic statue comes down and tries to punch Casmir. Oh, he rolled stealth. He beat your passive. That's
Is this
why I
something-
gave you an extra one.
Is this something we can
Gargoyles.
roll initiative for, or are we just gonna body this thing real quick?
It's a gargoyle, isn't it?
well, he gets a surprise attack.
This is surprise attack and then initiative.
All right, I'm just gonna roll now because.
Yeah,
Nice.
go ahead and roll your initiatives. I just have to find his attack roll because I closed out his character sheet by accident. Yeah, he's gonna fly down and try and claw out at Casmir. 16, that misses you. Yeah, so he flies down, and even though you didn't hear him, like as he's like flying and trying to do this like flying slice at you, you just like dip out of the way, like your like spidey senses activate behind you, and you're just like nope, and he just flies and hits the ground in front of you, and it's just kind of like growling at you.
Well,
My rich boy
if
sense
you
is
wasn't
tingling.
aware, you have advantage on the attack roll.
Oh shit, yeah, cause sneak attacks,
Yeah.
like surprise rounds. I mean, let me see if it does hit you. My bad. I don't know how 5e works yet.
You're good.
Jesus,
Try
I'm
this.
last.
Still
No.
misses. Same goddamn roll. Okay. I gotta wipe
How-
the turn order. And go ahead and plug in those sweet initiatives.
Would a crowbar be considered a simple weapon or a improvised?
Improvise.
And what would I roll for that?
Uh,
I own a crowbar. Oh my god, I love that I can just make anything metal as long as it's under
I
100 gold.
don't know how improvised weapons work in 5e. I know they're a thing.
They
don't know how-
with if you don't have the feet, any improvised weapon is like a D2.
Doesn't do much damage. huh?
Alright, I'm just gonna drop it and punch him.
Yeah, it's a d4.
A D4. Okay, I was off by
so
2.
it would be a d4 bludgeoning.
You just
And
don't add your
you-
proficiency.
You
to
wouldn't
attack
get
rolls.
proficiency. Yeah. All right, you guys rolled yours. Let me go ahead and roll his really quick, which is a 0. Because fuck my life. No enemies have positive initiatives in this game.
I'm literally last.
No, so with the shield I can't use my spells, right?
You have to have a free hand.
Oh
for
baby,
your-
okay, I'm
for
just
your
gonna
holy symbol. So you
Oh
could
my
drop your
God.
weapon or your shield.
Okay. No, I understand. I understand. Yeah.
Wow, that sorted that just entirely wrong. Like that was weird.
yeah.
All right, that's so
the
weird.
only
It did-
person
I
who
hit
was-
sort descending and it did not do a good job. Like, all right, Casmir, it is your turn first. This creature has just landed before you. It's like kind of growling at you a little bit. It tried to hit you, and go ahead.
All right. Well, I am going to go ahead. We'll move around him. I pull out my rapier because you know, yeah, have to hit things,
yeah.
kinda. But fuck. I guess I'll just right buff it and stab a boy. Give him a good old stabby stab.
Hell yeah.
Hold
Go
on, I
ahead,
need to
roll
set up
that
my.
shit.
Yeah, I'll roll and then I'll set up my health.
Roll that shit, Casmir.
14.
Is it the battle music? Sounds very
Yeah, for a
familiar.
moment. It is very familiar.
I've never played this game though.
It does not hit.
Damn.
So
that's
yeah, you pull out your rapier, you like dance around him a little and try and poke him, and it just like skids off his like stony hide. Aeolus.
L2. He's
He's
muted.
muted. Do you
Alright.
know you're muted?
I'm gonna move right there.
He didn't know he was muted.
Fucking Vin.
It runs in the family.
Alright, so you move to right there, and are you gonna attack him then?
Yeah.
All right, you can attack twice because you have your bonus action still.
Yep. Roll d20.
Oh my god, I do. Can we change the song?
No,
No.
just lower it.
I'm just gonna turn it off. Fucking. I
Yeah.
find this
Okay.
song extremely annoying.
Damn, that sucks.
I'm vibing with this song.
From The Witcher
All
3.
right.
I
First
know
one
it
hit.
is.
Okay.
It's the fucking best.
Then I roll the 1d6 plus 4, right?
I'd like it
Yes.
more without all the.
Glad you voiced your opinion.
6.
Oh yeah, roll 2d6 extra for sneak attack because allies within 5 feet.
Oh yeah. So do I just roll another 1d?
He
Two-
gets
yeah,
advantage, doesn't he?
2d6.
No.
He's a 2d6 or 1d6.
But he's flanked.
Not by Aeolus is the one attacking.
Bird boy.
Hold on, let me look up flanking.
No, I'm
Yeah, just 2d6 extra.
Okay, 2d6 plus the 4, right?
Well, you-
No, this is just your sneak attack.
Okay.
so
You
in,
already
the-
rolled the
in,
plus 4.
in the future, just roll 3d6 plus 4 on your sneak attack.
Oh, there
essentially.
is no.
All right.
Yeah, there is no such thing as flanking.
Well, technically there is.
That was,
No, in
you
5th
said-
edition, there's no such thing as flanking. But
Technically, there is
it's
an optional rule for flanking. It
yeah.
gives
Well, it's
you-
up to Alec.
That's fine. Let's just do combat right now. We can figure this out later.
Oh wait, that's only supposed to be 1d6. You're not level 3. My bad.
Alright, so you did
it's
one extra
gonna be
damage.
An extra 1 damage. Yeah. So
Nice.
you run up, seeing Casmir trying to attack it, and you slice at the creature, and your blade sinks, and you deal the damage on the first hit, but it looks like you go to push like your blade harder, and his skin like kind of stops you from going any deeper. So it looks like his skin itself is actually stopping you from hurting him more than you should.
Ow.
And go ahead and make your second attack now.
Alright.
I mean, if you still want
Answer
to.
your phone! Answer your phone!
You can hear that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear that.
What the fuck? It's like 3 rooms away. My house is made of paper.
Do the +6 again.
I mean, do you know what drywall is made out of?
Paper.
Oh, fuck.
It's made out of
Drywall.
Is it loud or is it like annoying?
Yes.
no.
11.
That misses.
Shit.
All right. You whiff and miss your second hit, and Zohar, your turn.
I got my glaive out.
All right. Hard misses.
Okay.
And anything for your bonus action? If you have a spell or anything, just want to make sure.
No. Not using a
Alright.
spell for this.
Salvatore.
From hammer your made, from hammer your goal. I'm gonna drop the crowbar and pick up my hammer.
Okay.
And I'm gonna smack him.
Go ahead and smack him.
Smack a boy.
Alright. Would I get the second attack of my bonus action, or is that only his class?
That's when you wield 2 light weapons.
Oh, okay, gotcha. From
That's how
hammer your
dual wield-
made! And from hammer
That's
your
how
goal.
dual wielding works in 5e. And yeah, you hit him.
Bludgeoning damage?
Yes. Well, with your hammer, yeah.
Yep.
9. All right. Yeah. So you say your weird little old man thing, and then you bring the hammer down on its stony shoulder, and you feel it crack when you hit him. But with the force you put behind the hammer, he definitely his body blocked some of that damage.
Okay. Alright, and then I will move right here to prevent his escape.
All right.
Box him in!
Gotcha. Okay. All right, and Sora.
Damn, that was fast. I love 5e. What's my connection to this? Nothing.
Oh, I could have just told the dead. I forget I have that.
His firebolt is gonna get cover, so I'm gonna.
Dude, just
step
do you have magic missile?
5 feet to the round. I'm not gonna burn that on this, and I'm gonna use firebolt.
All right, lit. Yeah, he does not get cover.
Probably kill.
Yeah, that misses.
Okay. Phew. That's the turn.
All right. Yeah, so you send your firebolt out, just whizzes right past him. And now it is the creature's turn. And it is going to turn. Yeah, it's like looking around at you guys, all surrounding it. And then it turns and it's going to try and attack Salvatore.
Oh, good.
It's going to try and bite and then also claw you.
How about thee?
How about the motherfucker?
Ouch!
23 and a 6.
23 hits.
All right, yeah. So it lunges forward and bites into you, and then as it's pulling, you shake it off, and as it's pulling off of you, it tries to bring its hand around, and you just kind of bat it away with the hammer.
Haha,
But
don't reach
then
around
for
this
its-
time, little guy.
Its damage, it deals 8 damage.
Wow, AC feels largely unimportant.
Wow.
This guy was a higher. This guy was a higher to hit than us. What the fuck?
Doesn't.
Oh,
You.
He has a +4, dude.
yeah, and we have a +5.
Yeah.
This guy is not weak. He's like level 1. Gus was whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Valindra.
I guess I misheard what you said then.
Never mind.
I will pull out my little
Hell yeah.
Roll d20 plus 5.
Can I rename gear?
Ooh, hits.
I don't think so.
Rename gear?
Yeah. Oh, customize. Oh.
Boom, 7 damage. And
Might
with
be
my
able to-
bonus action, I say, hey, Casmir, do that thing where you pierce him from ear to ear. And I'm going to give you Bardic Inspiration.
All right. Once again, when the arrow hits into him, it
Just goes
sticks in him and then kind of breaks a little bit, and it looks like you cracked the spot where you hit him, but it didn't like impale in him. And Casmir.
Yeah, we're gonna do the thing where I hit him.
All right,
Hit a boy.
that one hits.
Damn.
All right. And you have your right on, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And yeah, okay. So you give him a good old stab, and yeah, same as before. It like scratches into him, but you feel like you definitely could have done more. Where his hide not so tough.
Hmm.
And Aeolus.
Okay.
Guys, I think this thing has resistance.
The creature's like getting attacked on all sides. It looks like it's like mad feral. Like it's just like staring around, like growling at you, like darting its eyes between the three of you surrounding it, and like trying to dodge attacks, taking attacks the whole time.
No, no, eso.
And yeah, now it's Aeolus' turn.
The 6th level 2 adventurers against a minor gargoyle.
¿Sabes lo que te digo?
13.
All right, that one misses. Go ahead with your second one.
Alright. Roll d20 plus 6. 15.
Are you on a computer?
That
Logan?
one.
Yes.
Logan too. Sorry.
Huh.
You're on a computer, right? Logan too.
Yeah.
If you want to reroll the same one, you could just use the up arrow. It rerolls the same rolls as your last one.
Yep.
Alright.
And you can even use the up arrow to go to messages prior to that.
Yeah. It brings up your last message and then it goes further and further and further.
Yep.
15, 15
I'm gonna mute
meat.
myself real quick
so you
because
hit.
Dad called
Okay.
me.
Got you. All right, he hits. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll his damage, which is 2d6 plus 4. Well, it's a new turn, so he gets sneak attack again, right?
Yeah, but he's attacking with the offhand weapon because he already attacked the main one, so he doesn't get the +4.
Oh, true. So it's just 2d6.
Correct. The window.
All right. Well, let's see. We will roll as Aeolus. He got a 9.
Nice.
Same about that resistance down to 4.
Alrighty, I'm back.
Bummer.
9.
I rolled your damage for you. You got a 9.
Yep.
So you swing the first sword, he kind of blocks it, and then you go in for the second one and stab him in like the abdomen. You feel the resistance once again,
Yeah.
but you did hit him good. You got him with that sneaky little side combo.
Mhm.
And Zohar.
Mhm.
Misses.
Rip.
All right, and I want to aim for the exact spot I hit last time. Is that something I could do? Will that be
I mean, it's
penalty?
not going to give you any like tactical bonus, but yeah.
I'm saying I can knock his arm off. So if I hit him in the shoulder, I can knock one of his arms off. No.
You could try.
Would that be like? Could I actually try that?
It wouldn't give you anything towards the roll, but as far
I
as
don't want anything
like
towards the roll.
ramifications are concerned, sure.
Yes, I want ramifications, not bonuses to the roll.
Go ahead.
I was wondering if I would get disadvantage of that actually because I'm aiming for the spot.
No, you're fine.
I don't hit anyway, so it's okay. And then with my
Alright.
bonus action.
Jesus, you guys are bad at this.
Shut up, nerd.
Maybe if someone would dish out their inspiration.
I did.
He
He
did.
did.
Should I really use a spell on this guy? Not really.
It's up to you, man. Go
I
for it.
mean, I only have 3 spells a day.
Same.
Oh, wait,
He's
my
got
spell
the-
slots are short or long rest?
Long.
And what's considered long rest? An hour?
8 hours.
8 hours?
Jeez.
It's sleeping.
Short is 1.
Fuck, it's searing smite on this nerd. No wait, I'm gonna make a burn. Never mind. I'll just. I'm done.
Oh, the cool thing about spend it, like even if you miss the next attack, it doesn't matter. It doesn't go away until you actually hit.
But doesn't it have a duration?
It does.
Yeah,
So
that's
like you
what
won't
I'm
be able to use it for multiple encounters, but
saying. Yeah.
it's kind of late to use it now, given how
No,
often.
I know. No, I understand. I'm done.
Gotcha.
I forget that it's like a burning thing that I should put. This is the first thing I should do in a turn, really.
So,
What? Oh, no, go ahead.
is it my turn yet, or?
Well,
Yeah.
so when Zohar swings his glaive, he comes like really close to hitting him, but the gargoyle like kind of dips out of the side a little, and then it's at the same second that like Salvatore is bringing down the hammer, and you guys have to like pull back to not hit each other's weapons. And now it's Sora's turn.
We're getting pro.
Oh, well, I looked up the rules for cover, so I need to move forward another square to not give this guy half cover.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm gonna attack him with a firebolt again.
Gotcha.
Because the way it works is that you go from I'll explain it later. And miss again.
I think it's the same roll as last
just
time.
like just pulling some fire and just whiffing hard.
It's
floating
just
right past
hard
Casmir.
missing, like firing them into the alleyway.
Yeah, right. Nothing too flammable back there.
And then the creature this time is going to turn to Aeolus and snarl at him and try and attack him.
If you have a weapon, a light weapon like a dagger in your hand, could I use that as an attack as a bonus action, even though I didn't use a regular attack as a main action? I think by the rules I can't do that.
I think because bonus actions are like continuations of the action itself.
Okay. All right.
So unless
Fair
you
enough.
attack, you can't bonus action to attack.
That seems
Yeah, you
reasonable.
have to. Yeah, that's right.
21 to 23 coming at you, Aeolus.
They both hit.
All right.
Ooh.
Rip,
So yeah,
rip
so
Aeolus.
in the like aftermath of you getting your sneak attack on him, you kind of like look away for a second. He dodges out of the way of the other attacks, and then he sinks his jaws right into your shoulder at the same time that he's bringing his claw down into your side and just kind of like impaling you with it.
Okay.
And that's gonna be 11 damage. All right.
Not still cover. Holy shit. Damn. I'd have to be up here to not take cover.
There you go.
We had 6 HP.
Now it's Valindra's turn.
Hold on a second.
Does cover work for ranged attacks too, like crossbows and such?
Cover is mainly for range attacks. I don't even know if it works.
Okay. So it's okay because I'm not gonna shoot again.
Well, you would
Yeah.
have 3/4 cover, not even half, if as Valindra, because you have to literally shoot through.
Yeah. I don't think cover would apply to vicious mockery though, right?
Nope.
So I'm gonna be like, hey you fucking suck in Inferno. So it's not like, hey you fucking suck in
Yeah, you got him. I speak infernal, so.
I also speak it.
Say that and cast vicious mockery.
All right. And that's a wisdom, right?
Correctamundo.
The only people who don't speak infernal are Aeolus and Zohar.
I speak Infernal.
Oh, well, it's just Aeolus.
God damn it! I'm just standing there being like, what the fuck he said?
That's a 4.
Fucking failed. So he takes roll.
Hold on, I gotta close the door.
1d4 of psychic damage, 3 psychic damage, and his next attack roll has a disadvantage.
Yeet.
And as a no, I'm not gonna use another point.
That's
I
legitness.
only have 3 or 2. I have 2 left. So I'm gonna save them in case we have to kill more things today.
All right, Casmir.
Cash money.
Hey, it's still alive.
You still have yours,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna add that to it. It's a D4, D6.
D6.
So plus another 5.
Oh, baby.
18
So 18.
I got
hits.
Casmir. Do that thing you do where you go from ear to ear.
13. All right. So the actual like hit itself, looks like it does the resistance thing, but then like the cold kind of spreads out from where you poke him, and he kind of like flinches a little from that.
Hmm.
So that's gonna be a.
Come on, burn magic missile.
That number, and then also minus this number. What?
Did he like actually like react to my damage at all?
He got like that like. He got a. I should have described that. Thank you. He got like a pained expression on his like demonic face, as like his like eye kind of twitched a little and his face contorted. So yeah, and then that makes it Aeolus' turn.
Cool. I'm gonna move all the way to here.
All right.
Oh,
And if you're moving out, you're gonna want to use your bonus action to withdraw, so that you don't provoke attacks of opportunity.
Okay.
Disengage.
disengage is the term.
Is it disengaged? Yeah, it's
And
disengaged.
it's an action, not a bonus action.
No, for
It's a
him
bonus
it's a
action
bonus
'cause he's a
action
rogue.
because he's a rogue.
Oh shit, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, God. Monster manual.
I was looking at the rulebook itself and I forgot about his class.
But yeah, all right. So you get out of there without taking an attack, and then you still have your action left.
I'm gonna try to throw a dagger at him.
All right.
Where'd he go? I didn't see him.
Oh Jesus! I turned off my light.
15.
Where did Aeolus go?
He's
I'm
right
right
here,
here.
man.
Oh, inside Valindra Square?
No.
No.
Refresh, roll
no.
20.
Roll 20's fucking up.
Yeah.
I know.
15 hits.
Okay. So I just do a 1d4.
Wait. Yeah.
Oh, 1d4. 4.
You can do sneak attack from there.
I can?
Oh yeah, because an ally, it's an ally within 5 feet of the enemy.
Oh yeah.
I
and
forgot
yeah.
about that.
2.
And,
or in 5 feet. Okay.
Do you also add your bonus to this attack?
Roll.
I
You
don't
would.
think.
So
Does
do
he?
I
Does he
Yeah.
add dex to it?
Dex to damage.
Okay. So roll a 1d6 plus your dex modifier.
1d6 plus a 4.
6. All right. Damn. So it's gonna be that much damage. All right. Yeah. So your dagger, you throw it and it just kind of like it sticks in like his like clavicle area, and like embeds in there, and you do see like this like kind of black liquid start like like seeping out of the wound. And the dagger, like just the tip of it is like kind of stuck. Like when he moves, the dagger kind of like shakes around. And the creature's starting to look heavily wounded. Like it's like panting and like kind of looking around like more crazily than it was before. And now it's Zohar's turn. That one hits. Was that with your Great Weapon Master? Yeah, it was.
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
16. Jesus. All right, yeah. So you getting frustrated at missing several times, you just like rear back and take your glaive and like slam it down on his shoulder. And you crack a good section of his like shoulder blade area open, like there's a big gash and it's just like pouring that black liquid out. And Salvatore.
He's still alive after that? Alright.
Oh, he's still alive. He's like shaking a little bit and like kind of like curling up, but he's alive.
I miss.
All right. Yeah, you swing wildly with your hammer and miss. Sora?
I go to do another firebolt, realize that this is being fucking dumb, and cast magic.
And cast, you said magic missile?
Yeah.
Alright.
Do you want me to roll each individual dart by itself, or
You're
as one?
supposed to, aren't you?
Magic missile's
thought
weird.
you
I'm gonna
were.
roll them all. I'm gonna roll them all. It's better that way. 3d4 plus 3.
Jesus.
Damage.
Yeah, damn. Alright. 1d4 plus 1 for each dart. Yeah, so 3d4 plus 3. Yikes. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, actually. Yeah, all right. So the magic missiles, you like light up your fingers and create the magic missiles, and they fly and impact into the creature's chest, and it's you can see its chest is like heavily cracking. Like it looks like its chest is gonna fall apart. There's the black liquid like seeping out of all the cracks of its chest. It's like that like black liquid is like pooling at its feet now.
God damn.
And then it's gonna take this like really lazy like not lazy but this really weak limp forward and actually try to attack you, Sora.
Fair enough.
At a disadvantage.
Yeah, on its first attack roll, disadvantage. So here's its first attack roll. That's a natural 1. Do you have a melee weapon out?
I probably should have my dagger.
Okay.
I can
Well
swing
then
at him if you want.
you can attempt to take a swing. Yeah.
Do I have to roll for that? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. A swing?
Just roll to try and hit him.
Just swinging. Alright.
Swing is swag. Give a good old swing.
Ooh. Okay. Go ahead and roll damage.
See, you don't roll any dice for unarmed attack.
No, it's
myself.
isn't
So
it
I don't
double
get to do
damage?
anything for the crit damage. No, it's just I just do 2 damage.
Wait. No, you have your dagger.
No, I said I didn't have it out because I didn't.
Oh.
I should have. It made more sense, but I didn't. I didn't take it out, so I wasn't.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, it's just 2
Punched
damage.
it. Just 2 damage.
All right. Yeah. So the creature walks up and like goes to bite at you and leans its like face forward.
Unless
Yeah.
you wanna-
Remembers what I said about him.
Where would you like to punch it? I'm sorry. Since this is a
Right in
crit.
right in its goopy chest.
All right, yeah. So it like rears up to go to bite you, and you punch it in its goopy cracked chest, and the whole torso crumbles around your fist as you just punch in, and you just hear like the squelch as your fist just goes into its chest, and then the creature looks at you and just goes, "Ah, ah," and then slides off your fist and hits the ground,
With 4 damage? Hell yeah.
and it's dead.
I mean 2 damage. Damn.
Yeah, 2 damage killed it.
I'm gonna walk up and take my dagger out too. So
All right, yeah, you just take it out with this disgusting like.
I grab the little bolt from his chest and just cock it back into the crossbow.
All right.
So he had 1 HP.
Well, what like the goop with the goop dripping off of it? I'm just gonna shake it off.
All right,
My
yeah.
dagger.
It had 1 HP left.